Is it important to you that you're successful? You see, success is important to me in my life. I I want to be successful. I want to win. I want to be a winner. I think the question is like, what do you want to be successful with? And I think everybody is going to have some type of answer because success has got to matter to everybody. I think when you have a desire for something, either you're trying to bring something new into your life or you're trying to keep something that's in your life, maybe trying to keep something out of your life. I think that we want success because we want to be able to do what we want or have what we want. We want to be able to live the life we want to live to some degree. To me, I take that very serious. I think some people wouldn't like to talk about them wanting success, or maybe they don't see that success is important in their life because the word means something in their mind. But I think in reality, when you look at humans naturally just have desires, meaning like we have a feeling that we want something. And when you decide that you're going to pursue, you do it with the intent that you're going to achieve it. You pursue something to be successful, and you want to be successful, meaning like if you're successful, you get what you want, right? Maybe I could simplify it like that and say, when you're successful, you get what you want, okay? The whole reason why I'm talking about this is because I want to talk about mindset, how important it is to have the right mindset to be successful. And I was inspired to talk about this actually because my brother left a comment. My brother left a comment on one of my other videos and made suggestions about what I should talk about. And he said mindset. He gave some more specific suggestions about what I should talk about, what about mindset. And so what I thought about was, well, it's important for people who are already thinking that they want success. Now, even though I'm trying to explain that everybody wants success with something, the question is, what is it that you want to be successful with, is the question I think people are answering for themselves. My philosophy in life in general is that what makes a good life and what makes life worth living at all, and why we would choose to continue living, what life is about is love and happiness. And so on one side, you're doing things that are for love, for the love of others. And I define love as doing for others without regard for benefit to yourself. And then on the other side is happiness. You're living life and you're doing things for the sake of you feeling happiness. And so you find the fulfillment when you are seeing that everything you do is for both, right? So that's just to show you my philosophy and how I build back to the idea of having the right mindset to be successful. And so when you are trying to, now for me, I'm designing my life is how I see it. And I think that if you're in a similar situation where you're trying to design your life to be the way you want it to be, you're having to be super intentional about everything you do. And everything you do is either for love or for happiness. And what's really great, you find the best alignment in your life when you're finding ways to do things that are for both. And it's really hard to do that. Most of the time you're doing it for one or the other, but what you do when you design the life right is you start to become engaged in things that can have you do things for both. Now I feel like I'm speaking very abstract just to make this whole introduction. So I want to get a little more specific now, right? Now, like I'm gonna open up about myself. I'm in a place where I want something different in my professional life. So I'm looking for a deeper level of alignment. I'm looking to be more fulfilled in my professional life. And my life is just one altogether. I have different areas of my life that come together and make my one life. I say professional life because I'm engaged in a career that makes me be committed for a great deal of my time to doing certain activities. So in my current job, there are responsibilities that I have. And so because I'm committed to the job, I'm committed to doing the activities that fall within the responsibilities of my job. Okay, so I have 168 hours in a week. Everybody has 168 hours in a week. And a big chunk of my 168 hours is used to be committed to the job. Now, for many people, right, you say like a full-time job is 40 hours a week. For me, it's more, but to put a number on it and make it simple, it's like if you have a job, full-time job of 40 hours a week, you're committing 40 hours of your time to do certain activities that fall under the responsibilities of your job. So being committed to the job is being committed to spending your time doing such and such. Okay, I'm saying all that to say, like, look, in my situation, I want to be engaged in my career in a way where I'm doing activities that are for my love and for my happiness. And so the way I interpret things now is like I often do things within my job because it's my responsibility to the job, and I'm only committed to the job for the money. So if I'm committed to the job to make money, the money is to help me have happiness or to help me show love to my family, because as a provider, providing financial security to my family, I need an income so that I can put family in my family's bank account so that we have what we need to live. So the money is for both. The money is for taking that role, which is motivated by love, but it's also because the money is going to help me design my life, right? So when it's like that, you try to keep interpreting your. I'm trying to have you step in my shoes, right? And for my shoes, what it's like is like you're trying to keep interpreting that your commitment to the job is worth it because it's going to help you get the life you want in the future. So that's how you keep going, right? But in reality, as I'm living life, I lose happiness and I lose out on love. So if I'm doing the job because it's supposed to give me the life I want in the future, yeah, it's taken away from my love and happiness currently, then what I think is happening is I'm sacrificing living my life for love and happiness now for the sake of living a life of more love and happiness in the future, and I'm justifying it all, trying to say that, hey, this is the only option I have now. So I'm not just gonna go and leave my job because I'm trying to play it safe, but on the inside, deep down, I know it's not my only option. It's my choice to do this. So if I have another choice, why don't I go and do it? And that little thing eats at me. So when I say that in my professional life, I'm looking for something different, I know what I want in a sense of finding a deeper alignment where I'm engaged in my career, and it has me doing activities that are for the sake of love or for the sake of happiness. And I think that making money is typically for happiness. I think that when you want success, it's happiness. It's on that side of things. And so in this conversation, where I actually want to talk about mindset, and I don't have too much time to talk about it, so this is kind of like a video to just start touching on it. And really, I'm gonna have to take time on another day to speak on mindset more. But it's a long introduction just to touch on mindset a little bit. But the point I'm making is that from my philosophy, if you want to be successful, you need the right mindset. And understanding that wanting to be successful at something, whatever it is about doing things for your happiness. It's coming from self-interest. And that's okay. That's okay. But understanding that will help you realize that your opinion, for lack of a better word, your opinion and only your opinion about what is worth it is what matters. Only your opinion. So in my position, my opinion about if it's worth it to keep doing my current job is, my opinion is what matters most, not anybody else's, because it's for my happiness. Okay, so the interesting thing is that at times, if I interpret it a certain way, I think that it's love versus my happiness. I've got to keep doing the job to make the money for my family, so I will sacrifice my happiness. Oh shit. Or I go for what makes me happy, even if it means less money for my family. So I choose my happiness over loving for my family. So if I interpret it a certain way, that's how it looks to me. And that sucks. That's horrible. And the reason why I bring this up is because one of the suggestions my brother had was about talking about limitless mindset, being able to have the mindset that you can go achieve your goals, that you can break through what you thought to be a limitation. So I think what we understand, and he's suggesting, right, abundance mindset, having a positive mindset. And so the idea is that we will put limits on ourselves. Like, we will say what is an option or not. Even when something is an option, we will say, we will go and tell ourselves, no, it's not an option. I can't choose that. I need to give an example. So like, for example, in my situation, right? Sometimes, let's say I have a bad day at work and I'm feeling like I fucking hate my job. And I'm thinking I'm gonna quit tomorrow. Maybe I don't really think it too much, but I have a feeling like I want to on a bad day. And logically, I can think of it as an option. But very easily, I'm just gonna be like, no, but that's not an option, because then how will I provide for my family? So I'm placing a limitation there. I'm saying what is a possible option is actually not an option for me. And so I place that limitation. Now, there may be value in doing that, right? And saying, no, that's not an option. But what I'm saying is, in order to have the right mindset for success, you have to be careful with that type of habit. And a lot of times, you're not doing it consciously. It's mental and emotional habits that are doing this for you without you even recognizing what's happening. So what I would say is, be careful of that and say, and I'm going to give you the example with me having a bad day at work. where we shouldn't be telling ourselves that it's not an option. So I will instead have a bad day at work and say, hey, you know what? I hate this job. I'm going to quit tomorrow. And instead of just not even considering that as a possible option, I consider it. You have to be careful because you want to have a positive mindset that says things are good and okay. And so you want to have gratitude for what you do have, right? But by thinking about it enough, something great is going to happen for my mindset by allowing myself to think about it as a real option, as a true possibility. Then I'm going to be able to have more power, because I'm going to see that some things are not real limits in the world. They're just limits in my mind. So when I say, I want to quit, I'm gonna quit my job tomorrow. Now, I don't rush to go do it, but I'll think about it and say, it's an option. Is it my best option? It's easy for me to conclude and say, it's not my best option. I'm gonna play a little more safe than that. It's easy to come to that conclusion, but it won't be enough if I just take the conclusion and stop thinking about it. I will have to go down that rabbit hole. Like people say, they have to go down that rabbit hole a little bit and say, why is it not the best option? Well, because by staying on the job, I know that I will for sure have a way to make money. I spend my time doing something for my employer, and I know for sure that they will pay me. So now I have, it's almost like guaranteed income, right? Maybe it's not truly guaranteed, nothing's truly guaranteed, but let's just say that's a guaranteed income by keeping that relationship with the employer. So keeping that relationship is probably better than giving up that relationship and not having another way to have guaranteed income, right? It's probably better. Now, for people who step into entrepreneurship, and I have in the past, so I do understand it firsthand, right? But I'm going to speak about other people who are actively living it now, and they step into entrepreneurship. They're consciously deciding that they will go without guaranteed income. The idea is that by securing clients and establishing a reputation and maintaining client relationships, that they will build a business, and the success of the business is by definition guaranteed income without being employed. So for people who step into entrepreneurship, they're actively making that decision. And when they do it, they're probably doing it because they believe that it is their best option. It's better than doing such and such. And when they do it, they're doing it because for happiness. They believe it's the best option because they will be happier in that life. Okay, so going back to myself, right? I need to have the right mindset if I want to make a career change that gives me the deeper alignment that I'm looking for. I have to have the right mindset. And so on my way to building that right mindset, one of the things I have to do is allow myself to break free from these limitations that I put on myself. Limitations on the mind, most importantly. Like when I think about, what if I leave this job? I have to think of it as a real option. And so what'll happen is, if I go down the rabbit hole enough, I'll pull out specific reasons why it's not the best option right now. And if I get to that, if I get to the place where I can be like specific enough about why it's not the best option right now, then I'll be able to say to myself, okay, financial security for my family needs to be provided when I do so. So while in this job, find a way to make sure that I can continue to provide financial security when I leave the job. Oh, okay, that's not so hard to understand, right? And you think like, I don't even have to mention that, duh, right? Maybe it's common sense. Maybe it's important that I walk us through this. But I'm sharing with you that going through that thinking puts me in a different state of mind. And this is what we're talking about, is mindset. Because now I'm saying, okay, I am not actually limited. I do have the option to leave my job. I choose not to do it tomorrow. I have this power that I choose not to do it tomorrow. I choose to leave my job at some future date when it makes sense for me to leave the job, because I'm still going to provide financial security for my family. Now, that is where I have to identify a problem to solve. And what is the problem to solve? How do I provide financial security for my family if I leave the job? Okay, so easily then I can say, well, I gotta have enough money saved to pay the bills while I make this career change, or I gotta have a job lined up for me when I leave this job. So I'm leaving this job and immediately starting another one, right? So I go and get hired by another employer while I'm still working with this employer, and then I tell this employer I'm gone, and then I start the new job, right? A lot of people just understand that, a lot of people wouldn't care to listen to this, but it's not about that being such a profound idea. It's about the way you're setting your mindset. If you're the type of person that's like, and see, my dad always has this great saying, it's like the best time to, I don't think he invented it, but he always says it. He says the best time to look for a job, the best time to look for a new job is when you already have a job. Yeah, and it's true. I mean, it's the best, because you're like, all right, I'm good. I already have a job. But you're looking for another one, kind of carefree, kind of peaceful about it, not under the stress of like, I need it. So it's the best time, for other reasons too. But I highly agree with that. And you can be the person who lives that way. Maybe you've done it, maybe multiple times. You move on to another job and you secured the next job while you still had your last job. But if you didn't work on your mindset, then even though you may be improving your life by going to the next job, if you didn't work on the mindset on the way there, then you will again run into stuff in the new job that will take away from your love and happiness, maybe, and you'll find yourself in the same position again where you have to do it again. And if you're good at doing it, then you probably feel like you're straight, right? But for some of us, we're trying to settle these things once and for all. So I think I'm just kind of sharing a lot about my story and my experience, and I want it to be okay. So I'm going to let myself continue here and share that I want to leave this job because I want a different career. And when I get into my next career, I want it to be something that I won't get tired of. Now, my interests may change over time. I think it just happens to people. It's possible that I want a different career again. But the difference will be is that right now, I got into this current job for the money. And I think a lot of people do the same, even though they think like, well, I like it. I got into it because I like it. But did you get into just anything you like? You know, you got into something that you like and that you know you can make money with. And when I go into my next career, I don't want it to necessarily be about I like it and I know I can make money with it, but I want it to be about the commitment I will make in that career would engage me in activities that I would enjoy doing anyways, even if I didn't get paid. Of course I gotta make money, but you see, I'm solving something that I don't have to solve again. Right now I'm in a position where I have great work experience and I've developed great skills in a couple different industries, but none of the jobs I've done before were things that I would do anyways, even if I wasn't making money towards it. If I leave this job just to get into another job that I like, but pays me good money, and I wouldn't do it if it doesn't pay me good money, then I will end up at some point in the same position that I'm in now, where I want to like do this switch. So I think if I start another career for myself where I'm doing work that I would do regardless if I made money or not, I find a way to make money doing it, then the transition to any other career in the future wouldn't be going from something that I don't like as much to something that I do like. It would be more like I'm going from something that I do like, but I'm going to something that I like even better. No matter what job you do, no matter what career, no matter what business you go into, I think there's going to be parts that you don't like. And I've already accepted that for myself. But I hope I'm explaining something here using me as an example about mindset, about breaking limitations. I really just wanted to kind of get started on the topic. So that's why I decided to turn on the camera, speak on it. But the story for me is that now here's so, so I'm thinking about what my brother said, and he was like limitless thinking, and I think that we have to be aware and we have to be accepting of the fact that there are such things as limits. But what limits there are today don't need to be limits in the future. And there's a way to change your mindset.